Hey guys, it's your girl Kizzy Rock. Happy Monday to you all. Hope you guys had a great weekend. So guys, I'm driving, so I apologize for any background noise. So guys, I'm going to jump right in. I wanted to talk to you all about when God requires you to go back and forgive. Go back and make it right. Even when you don't want to. But sometimes, if not most or all, our blessings are on hold until we go back and clean up a mess. And guess what? Not all the time you have created that mess. But God will require you to be the bigger person. And sometimes, again, your blessings will be on hold. And the further you go in your walk, the closer the breakthrough, it will kind of just dangle over your head like a little Christmas ornament. Like, see this blessing? You want this blessing? Go back and make it right. Listen, guys. That's a whole nother level of strength. That's a whole nother level of strength. Because not all the time is going to be forgiving the person who you may have given the birdie for. Or bird, is it bird or birdie? Giving them the bird because they cut you off at the stoplight. It may be that mother who abandoned you and gave you away, and you may have experienced trauma because of it. It may be that father who was never in your life. He may have had 15 kids and 14 lived with him, but you were the one who never ever saw him. In fact, he will never give you any answers or closure to why he wasn't involved in your life. It could be that ex-friend who slept with your man or your woman. It could be the sibling who always cause sibling rivalry. It could be so many. It can be the ex-boss who fired you for no reason, even though you held the job down. It could be so many reasons why that strife happened, why that, that unforgiveness may have happened. Who knows? You know your own personal story. Now, I want to be very, very clear. This is something that I stand very, very firm on. Always have, always will. And I've said this before. Forgiveness does not equate to reconciliation. Just because you forgive someone, it does not mean that person belongs back into your life. Most times they shouldn't even be. Well, for me, the way I'm set up, I only give you one time to cross me. Because once you show me who you really are, I'm not going to chance that again. So, and you may be different. You may be the person who can forgive and then, give that second chance. It's a personal thing. It's just not who I am. My heart ain't set up for that. Once you hurt me one time, honey, you guys, you guys to go, because I just can't. But either which way, so that's something that you would have to decipher. Most importantly, go to God about personally. I always tell people all the time, go to God first for your answers. Sometimes people rather take the easy way out and maybe ask people in their lives or their spiritual partners or their husband, their wives, whoever, for their opinion. And I'm not saying that that's wrong at all, because many times God will use a person to give you confirmation, but it should be confirmation, not always revelation. Go to God first, get your revelation, and sometimes Satan will come in and cause that doubt in your head, then God will allow someone else to give you confirmation. But too many times we want to go and get our answers from people, and that's just not always the way. But I was talking to, actually it was one of my staff members, we were talking about this, and God is dealing with her in having her to kind of go back and make some things right. And, I told her, I was like, listen, 10 years ago, if you'd asked me about this topic, I would tell you, listen, girl, you talking to the wrong person, because that ain't my thing. Like, I'm not the one to give advice on forgiving and forgiveness, because that's not my strong point, if I'm honest. I got a lot of strong points, and that's not one. However, in the last several years, God had been very clear with me. In order for me to see certain blessings manifest, I had to go back and forgive, regardless of who, why, and when. Who was right, who ain't right, whatever. I had to go back and forgive. But again, I'm going to be clear. Not one of those people who I have forgiven is back into my life. It's just that I went and made it right where there's no longer that, and it's not even animosity. It's not even like that constant bickering. It's just that it seems like that unsettling feeling. Meaning, even if you've moved past it and many years have went on, when you see them, you still get that little thing inside. You know that thing. And it's just, your spirit is not even at peace when you see them. So whatever the little strife or the disagreement was, I had to go back and just kind of iron out the wrinkles and, just say, listen, we can agree to disagree. I forgive you. I hope you forgive me. If you don't forgive me, I will pray and ask God to help you forgive me. But I forgive you because I don't want to carry these toxins any longer. I don't want anything eating at my spirit and disturbing my peace any longer. And so sometimes to get to that place, you have to go deeper. And you have to sit in that truth and that pain and realize that, sometimes if some of those things didn't happen, you wouldn't be where you are today. Many of your blessings and many of your growth may have came from the fact that people have hurt you, betrayed you, lied on you, jealousy, envy, strife, all that stuff, disloyalty, all that stuff, right? Even though it hurt, left you. Even though it abandoned you, even though it hurt, it made you a stronger person. Even though it hurt, it has allowed God to open some doors. So you may never, ever, ever, ever get your answers, especially for those of you who maybe don't know who, you have a parent who's rejecting you even to this day. You may never really get your answers, but it's important to understand that sometimes it's not about you. I was talking to somebody this past weekend, and she has a lot of issues with her mother-in-law, right? She's a really, really good wife. She really takes care of her husband. She's that traditional type of wife. But her mother-in-law always gives her a hard time. She dislikes her, and she can never understand why. So I was explaining to her, I said, listen, sometimes we keep thinking it's about us. Well, you stated that her mother-in-law was not involved in the son's life when he was a child. She had her own struggles, things like that. So with that being said, maybe when she see how you care for her son, it's a trigger for her. It hurts her. It reminds her that you are a better woman than she was. You're doing the things that she should have done, respectfully, and it bothers her. So rather than her come to you and articulate that properly and what she's feeling, she's just spazzing out on you for no reason. And here you're sitting here thinking it's you and it's not even you. So sometimes we have to understand that it's not always even about us when people hurt us. It's about that person. But then again, understanding that if it never happened, you wouldn't be where you are. If that father abandoned you, sons and daughters, but if that father abandoned you, you would have never been the great father you are now. Because maybe you felt like, okay, if I have a child, I would never, ever do to my child what my father did to me. So that made you a super dad. But if you never experienced that hurt and that abandonment, you wouldn't know what to really, do the opposite of. So, and it doesn't make it easier. It doesn't make the hurt any, less easier. But again, we have to start looking at things like, you know what? Yes, it hurt, but I got to move on. Because God can't give you additional blessings if your spirit and your soul and your mind is already cluttered with hurt, pain. He can't, all that stuff can't live in you at once. So you have to filter out the hurt, the pain, the unforgiveness. And it's a process. Don't let anybody tell you any lie. It's a process. Days, months, years, years, yeah. For your girl. But that's all right. Took me years, but I'm here now. And now that I'm here, guess what? Blessings are unfolding on top of blessings. And let me tell you what God will do. He will bless you right on top of those people's heads. And then you know what else he'll do? Which is, woo, honey, which is hard. Sometimes, maybe, just maybe, he will require you to go back and help those same people. Yep. He will require you to go back and help those same people. On that note, it's cool. It's cool. But one thing for sure, God will always allow people who have hurt you, who have betrayed you or whatever, he will always allow them to see your blessing. It ain't so fun when the rabbit got the gun. That's okay. I'm being petty right now. Anyway, you guys have a great day. I hope this can help someone. I have a busy day ahead of me, but you guys have a great day. It's your girl, Kizzy Rock.